Hey guys, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to talk about a really big issue inside of any chatbot platform basically. And the issue is, soon as a user, a subscriber, starts typing, the chatbot is programmed to respond to every single input. Sometimes this can be really confusing because users might have multiple sentences they are going to input in order to ask a question. So for example, hey, is anyone there? I need some help with my account. Right? So two different kinds of sentences. Normally a chatbot would respond towards each single input. So, hi, is someone there? And then also, I need help with my account. So the chatbot will send two different messages. This is not really a good experience for the end user because a user wants to ask one question but gets two different kinds of replies, right? So in order to be able to solve this issue, I built a little bit of an automation inside of UChat, and you can replicate this process inside of any chatbot platform that allows you to use JSON fields and also do some JSON, basically some JSON operations. And this flow looks like following. So just a few notes to be able to handle the capture, the saving of multiple users' input, and then save it inside of basically one custom field. What I did is I also set this flow as my default reply, meaning if I go under automation, the default reply is set to trigger every single time towards this specific flow. The reason is that soon as a user starts typing something randomly inside the chatbot, we need a fallback flow. And basically this will be that fallback flow. Soon as this fallback flow will be activated the first time, some logic inside will make sure that we will wait for a specific amount of seconds before continuing and respond towards the user. So if we're going to take a look inside the flow itself, it looks like following. The first step after the starting node is I have a JSON field. This is a system field inside of UChat that contains the last message. Inside the last message, inside of this condition step, we're going with a custom input, and then I'm going to use this last message system field. Inside, I want to determine the type, because if the type is text, then most likely a user might type several different kinds of inputs, and then that is the moment that we want to apply the rest of the logic. If we're going to take a look after the step, so if the last message type is text, right, then we will go towards a JSON operation. This JSON operation is user messages. That is the JSON custom field that I'm using. And the operation itself is insert item, meaning I'm going to insert another input towards this specific JSON custom field. Going to take a look here. Then you will see, again, I selected the user messages JSON field. The operation is insert item. I'm not going to insert any kind of key because that is not needed. The value type will be text, and the text value will be the last user's text input, the last thing that the user typed. If we are going to click and test this, you will see that we will get this kind of format back. So, hi, is anyone there? I need some help. Basically, those were my previous values, and now you will see that the last text input has been added towards the bottom. So this will store all the different kinds of messages from the user in one single go. So the next step will be to determine if the user already has been inside of this default reply within a set number of seconds. And that number of seconds we will come to in the next note. But if yes, they already have a tag, and we don't have to basically do any kind of logic after that, right? But if no, if this is the first time that this default reply is triggered, we go towards the next step. And the next step will be to add this specific tag where we just checked on the condition, and then we will wait for 10 seconds. And you can increase or decrease this time depending on your own situation. Most likely 10 seconds will be enough for a user to type something inside of multiple inputs. The next part is I'm going to go with a JavaScript function. And inside this JavaScript function, I am basically going with these messages that I captured inside the JSON custom field user messages. And I'm going to join them all into basically one output, right? So this way I can save the user's multiple inputs into one output. So what I did is I created a parameter name, user input. I'm going with the parameter value, user messages. I'm just going with the above setting, the $, right? I'm having some test value, as you can see here. And then I have a really small script, just 3 lines, but this allows me to basically join all the different kinds of inputs into one and just put them below each other. So that means that if we go with the const payload is json.parse, so basically we're going to parse this value that we get from the JSON payload into the function json.parse, and then we're going to process the user input, because that is the parameter name where these values have been saved. Then the next step will be to join all the different kinds of inputs from this test value or on a live session from this JSON custom field into one. And you can do that with the following command. Custom, for example, formatted text, you can rename this to anything that you like, equals to payload.join, and payload.join, and then we have this after that, and this means that we are going to put every single input on a new line. Okay, so this is something that you use in JavaScript to put things on a new line that way. What we're going to do, last but not least, is return the formatted text. So as you can see, the third line, return formatted text, basically return this value. If we're going to test this function, then you will see that here everything displays on one line, but if we are going to output this on a live version, everything will be displayed basically below each other. I'm going to save this result into a custom field. Currently you already see it down below. So the next step is also important, to also remove the tag to enable the multi-input again. And then right after that, we're going to basically display back everything that the user typed. So let's see if we can get this working. Let's go towards the widget, and you can see that I already did some testing here. But let's say, hi, I need some help. I am logged out of my account. So if all goes well, these two inputs will now be merged into one single input. So it will wait for 10 seconds, then continue, as you can see here. As you can see here, I'm still having some values saved from my previous replies. Hi, is anyone there? I need some help. But you can see the last two entries have been made there as well. So it is also important to, after this section, to then clear basically that specific user messages system field, right? And you can do that either here, or you can do that here as well. And then let's say JSON operation, edit action, going with user messages. And then from here, the operation will be to remove all items. So if I say click to test, then you will see that everything on the sample data will then be removed. So let's do another test. First of all, let me just remove the values from my system field, and let's just delete this section entirely. There we go. Now let's go back and let's do another test, and then let's see what the outcome will be. So let's say, hey, is anyone around? I need help with my account. Have been logged out. So let's see if this returns into one single message. We'll wait for a total of 10 seconds, and now you will see that these three inputs have now been stored in one custom field. And the great thing about this is, now the chatbot can respond to your entire multi-input, and you can run it through AI, or you can run it through live chat, right? Or any other way that you want to manage the reply to. The most common way is to reply towards users with the help of AI, but now AI is having the entire context of the question, right? So it's not going to respond only to, hey, is anyone around? Or I need help with my account. And then most likely the responses will be, hey, is anyone around? Yes, I am. How can I help? I need help with my account. Okay. What seems to be the issue? I've been logged out. So in between typing, basically the chatbot will respond directly towards the user otherwise. And now we just get one solid piece of response. So how cool is this that you can now combine multi-inputs from the user, just wait for a few seconds, and then basically move it through any kind of automation that you like to. So as you can see, inside the flow itself, it's a really, really simple flow. Just a few nodes, just 6 nodes to be able to, well, actually 5 nodes to be able to process all the data, and also wait for the user, to give the user time to basically type some more sentences, capture everything, merge it together, and then move it along inside of your automation. If you have any questions about this setup, do let me know, and I will try to help you out as soon as possible. And for now, have a great day, take care, and talk soon.